Tuesday Drive.
But our friends in Appin, they're getting a bargain, E10 at 93.5 cents at the moment. Do you remember those days during the height of the COVID-19 pandemic when you can pick up fuel for under $1? I don't know. I don't know about you, but I miss those days. Now, if you're trying to find the best price on petrol around the area, of course, always a good idea to tune into the Tuesday Drive Petrol Watch. But now to a truck, which I think is a rather cool segue. This truck I'm speaking about, it's one that many people around the region would be familiar with, especially if you were sadly caught up in the bushfires earlier this year. It's the minute-by-minute disaster relief truck, and you can't miss it. It's very silver and a rather large clock on the side if you happen to see it travelling by. And look, while it's helped many people, it turns out that the truck needs help to continue its good work. Joining me to tell me more is Rodney Mitchell, the founder and president of Minute by Minute Disaster Relief. Hello, Rodney.
Hey, buddy, how you going?
Good. Can I call you Rod?
Oh, you can call me whatever you like.
Oh, can I call you Rosa?
Yes,
definitely. Oh, okay. I thought that might have been a stretch calling. No, we'll stick with Rod. Hey, look, for those not familiar with the minute-by-minute disaster relief, can you explain what it is? Because as I mentioned to you off air this morning, I actually wasn't familiar with it.
Yeah, we're pretty. We sort of hang out in the dark alleys, pretty much.
Oh, okay.
No one really knows we exist until we moved on to Albatross Road there in the old Subaru building. We did when the fires were happening at Christmas time, we were running around doing supply runs to all the different towns that obviously couldn't get anything in or anything out. And it sort of just originated from that and turned into, 100% back to the community, not-for-profit op shop now. So we've turned one thing into another. It's funding itself now because 100% goes back to the community. And now we can do all our disaster relief and all our help in the community without trying to bother the public for money.
So during the bushfire, Rodney, what actually prompted you to start this minute by minute? I mean, there are other charitable organisations around. What made you say, right, we've got to do this?
Well, there was a Illawarra group up near Shell Harbour that collected a house full of supplies. They wanted to go out to the bushfire communities that needed them the most, but they couldn't find anybody that was sort of, well, I guess you'd say, stupid enough to drive it down there.
Okay.
And I just finished working for Boral at the time, and I had a truck that was designed for my buggy, but it has airbags in it, so you can pump the airbags up and move pretty much as much weight as you like at one time. So it turned into one sort of trip, and then once you sort of get to the communities and realised how bad it is, it turned into two trips, and then before I knew it, 2 months in, we were up to 13 trips into each sort of area where the SES and everyone else was saying not to go, basically, and they were shutting the towns down. So we sort of just turned that into our daily tasks, getting past roadblocks and delivering supplies.
Was it difficult to get past those roadblocks?
No, well, it was at some stages, but I've got a fair few friends on sort of the roadblock committees and all that sort of stuff, so they pretty much just gave me a floor plan of how to get past them and how to get around them.
Do you remember the first couple of times that you went down into those communities?
Yeah.
What was that like?
Minyana sort of sticks out. We got heaps of messages after we started putting it on Facebook that we were doing it. We got heaps of messages from the Minyana people because obviously they weren't allowed to leave and no one was allowed to come in, and there was still, a current bushfire on either side of the road. It sort of stands out because I think it was at about 9:30 at night I got past the first roadblock and we went back into Minyana, and there was power lines down the course, so we were driving over roads.
Wow.
And fires either side of the road, and we dropped off about around 50 of those little burners you get so they could cook their own meals. Because they were telling me that the SES were putting all the supplies sort of in a hall and locking it and only opening it for 1 hour of the day. So we sort of did a night mission on that one.
I imagine that would have been extremely tough for you, especially hearing some of those stories.
Oh, definitely, yeah. You try to do as much as you can, but, I mean, the fires were so bad and they were in such, so many areas, it's kind of hard to sort of hit all the areas at the right time,
Well, it sounds to me like your truck has certainly seen some adventures, Rod, but I understand it's not too well at the moment.
Not too well, no. It's probably broken down, I reckon, 13 times to match the number of deliveries we've sort of done. We've been stuck halfway between Nerriga and Nowra before. We've been stuck pretty much everywhere. We've been able to dodge it up to get it sort of back to base, replace that part, and then before you know it, the next part breaks. We've actually, in 8 months we've been running it, we've replaced every movable part with the exception of the motor.
Oh, wow.
And the head. Everything has been replaced, including the diff. So, I mean, it's had a hell of a beating. I did one of the deliveries to Maria Aboriginal Council with 3.5 tonne of clothes that was jammed into it. That was when the EGR valve blew to pieces and sounded like a Mack truck going down the street.
Oh, jeez. Now, Rodney, you've helped so many people across our region, and I'm hoping with our chat today that we can help you so you can continue to help people in our region, especially with, of course, the upcoming summer bushfire season happening again. Hopefully it won't be as bad as last year, of course. Now, you're trying to raise some money to fix this truck. How much are you looking at? How much?
Or buy another truck would be an even smarter option, because I'm willing to let it die.
No.
It's been through hell, but I mean, we're looking at a fuel pump now, which is $3,500 just to go down the same track. Mind you, it's only 2 years old. Like, I replaced the fuel pump one at $3,600.
Well,
not even 2 years ago.
It was funny, Rod, because I was actually just thinking of the question that was like, how much are you hoping to raise? But when you've just mentioned those couple of items, I think we're already up to $7,000. So it sounds like it's going to be a mighty amount of money.
Well, it is. It's very depressing every time I talk about it, really. But everyone says to me, "Oh, why don't you buy a Jap truck?" And I said, "Well, at the end of the day, we've poured so much money into this. You could sell on eBay for $50,000 the amount of money we spent on the last 8 months."
And like I said at the start, it's such an iconic truck. It's all silver and it has a big clock on the side.
The community know that truck. Yep. They knew it back when it looked like...
Absolutely.
It looked very, very shifty to start with before I put all the other on it. The police pulled us over several times thinking we were looting, of course.
Oh,
when
no.
they opened the back of the truck,
oh, gosh.
The whole fell out on the ground, and, they've given us police escorts and all that sort of stuff as well. But, because we were there. We were there when they were tying ribbons to the front gate, where the coroners were there. We were delivering food, when they actually needed it.
Well, Rod, thanks to your perseverance, there were obviously many, many families that were able to live a more comfortable life, I guess you would say, after those fires. So now tell me about this online auction, which hopefully is going to raise you squillions of dollars.
We're already up to $800 US, which is about just over $1,000, which is good. We've managed to raise another $500 or $600 in cash at the Minute by Minute op shop on Albatross Road as well this week. So we're up to about nearly $2,000 when all's told. But we're aiming for 10. Now I don't expect it to get to 10, but I mean if it does get to 10,000 US, which is about $13.60, I think we put the marker at. We will buy another truck for $10,000. We'll buy a Jap truck. Or worst case scenario, if we only make $3,600, I'll take another swing in the dark at this other truck and we'll put a fuel pump on it and we'll try again, I guess.
Well, I've got about 60 seconds before I can let you go, Rodney. Tell me about this online auction that you've got coming up.
Alrighty, so we've got our Facebook page and all the links are sort of through that. The Minute by Minute Disaster Relief groups, and there's an op shop one as well. We're doing a money fundraiser this weekend on Albatross Road. It starts at 8 a.m, goes to 12 p.m, and it will basically be all our antiques and collectibles at a really good prices. We're doing a silent auction for a few of the items, but the rest will be, will be sold very, very cheaply to try to raise some more money for this truck.
Well,
There
Rod,
we go, I guess.
I wish you...
Sausage sizzle as well, sorry.
Can't forget. I was just going to say, we're just about out of time, sorry, but I just want to wish you the best of luck over the weekend. And also, I just want to say a very special thank you and to your team for all the help that you've provided and, of course, continue to give...
Without the volunteers, we couldn't have done it.
Absolutely. Oh, yes, we know that. But, Rod, thank you so much for joining me this afternoon, and best of luck with that auction.
Mate. All right, start.
That was Rodney Mitchell, founder and president of Minute by Minute Disaster Relief. And if you're keen to attend the auction, head down to the old Subaru building at Albatross Road from 8 a.m. And you never know, you might find a rather rogue version of Mona Lisa in the antique sale. How about that? Wouldn't that be a find? But as you just heard that story there, just actually driving along those roads with the fire either side. And I know there's many stories like that we've heard over the last 8 or 9 months. But again, thank you very much to volunteers like Rod and his team that have been providing relief to people.
This is Tuesday Drive.